No, Mike, come on. I expect you to be like Mike of old, but at least, come on, Mike.
Yeah, mine is lower, so it really doesn't affect the back muscles that much. It would, I think the only thing mine would affect would be the Christmas tree at the bottom. But like I said, I've had it covered up in some shows, and some shows I didn't. And I don't think it made a difference in my placing. So,
Hmm.
and the judges, my feedback never had any issues with it. So
Hmm.
I was just
So,
wondering.
so after your last show, that was in 2019, right?
Yes.
So, what was the feedback the judges gave you that
Well,
time?
that show, I was, so all of my shows I've placed top five. And that show I was eight out of, I think there was like 15 or 16 of us. I was way too small. So my stage weight usually is about 162 to 165-ish, lean stage weight. That show I was 150. I think I had lost just way too much muscle, and I looked very thin. It was too much weight loss, and I'm 5'9", so and plus, I'm a head taller than most of the girls I compete against. So the feedback from that show was just to get bigger, but I had lost 15 pounds of muscle, which was a lot.
Hmm. Oh, I have a friend. Her name is Tina. Tina S. Williams. She is a IFB pro bodybuilder. She's 5'9" like you. This is Tina.
Oh, she's
She just,
beautiful.
yeah, she's a lovely lady. She's been out here. Her husband's a good crew. He's my homeboy. She did a show about a while back. This is the first show for this year that was in Anaheim. And she's also 5'5", 5'9", and she
Okay.
competes in women's bodybuilding. And I think I also interviewed a lady. Her name is Angela Norway. She's like about almost 6 feet tall.
Ooh,
Yeah. I'll send you a link if you want to check her out.
okay.
I think with y'all women who are a lot taller, it's a lot harder to put. Like one person you might remember, Nicole Bass. Yeah,
I don't remember.
Nicole Bass was like 6 feet 2,
Whew.
and she competed most good while for the amateurs. She did turn pro, but she only did one Miss Olympia, and then after that she retired.
Okay.
And she was 6'2", and I think it's a lot harder for y'all women who are a lot taller because your arms a lot longer. It takes a lot more muscle to
Yeah.
put on your frame.
Yeah. I agree with that for sure. Short women, 5 foot, they can get the muscle very easy. So we
Mhm.
have to work extra.
Yeah, there's one woman I can mention is Michaela Acock. I think she's barely 5 feet tall, and
Yes. Isn't she phenomenal?
she's a beast.
She is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know at the Olympia she didn't place as well. I mean, well, another lady who I interviewed, Sherry probably also was like in the bottom of the top five. Did you watch the Olympia, or do you still follow bodybuilding?
I do. Yeah. I do.
Hmm. So, what's your critique of this year's Olympia? What you thought? Who do you feel like? You know,
I thought it was close. Uh, I don't I don't know. They all I would be a poor judge because what the judges look for, I'm like, well, I didn't see that coming. I don't think I would make a good judge at all because what I like somehow, you know, doesn't line up.
yeah, I understand because I kind of criticize just a bit. I like I said, I talk to ladies say, yeah, you have a great music, everything come together, but there is always something because I'm not like I said, I'm in my crime again. I'm not supposed to smoke. I just love y'all pump ladies, y'all excite me. But
Thank you.
but yeah, you're welcome. But what the critique is that I think even women's physique is kind of moving away from the direction it was created. It's supposed to be more. I was a big fan of women's physique. I call it watered down women's bodybuilding, but it's in a way, as you see, and we talked earlier how there are cutting them from the shows, and I think it's said again, it's the evolution of the athlete. Even if you look at divisions like figure, the girls are getting bigger, more
Oh,
shredded.
yeah.
You look at the girls in bikini, and then you have wellness, and those girls are like a cross between bikini and bodybuilding.
Yeah. 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 I think wellness, you have to have a really good glute leg. Um, I think that's what they're about. Before bikini was nice boobs and butt, you know. And, and then, fitness, you had to be athletic and do your routine and stuff like that. But figure is even, some of these figure girls would be physique girls, without a doubt.
Yeah. It's getting to the point where you just can't tell the difference. Maybe just me, I'm an outsider,
No,
but
I'm right with you. I can't tell the difference either.
so as you say, you are a trauma nurse. So
I
when you
am.
became a nurse and what's it like and how long you been doing it?
I've been a nurse for 30 years and I've done all ER trauma. I started out working in Detroit in a trauma center and did that for a while. And I absolutely love my job. Um, I still get excited to go to work. I mean, of course, I don't go throwing pixie dust up everybody's ass, but, there's some days where I need a vacation, of course, but I love my job. I wouldn't trade being a nurse for anything in the world.
Yeah, I think you got to love your job
Yeah.
because, especially like I said, I took care of my mom for a good few years, and we had a CNA stuff like that, and
Yeah.
and sometimes we used to go to the hospital so often when she gets sick, and sometimes I really appreciate the what y'all do, your work. I know it's tough, especially you're in Detroit,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in the trauma unit. I mean, I know you seen things in your 30
Yeah.
years. Is there something that you feel like has ever shocked you in your career?
Um, there's been a couple that stand out to me. But going to the gym is a good stress reliever for me. And we do have debriefings after we have a trauma that comes in or something like that. But everyday typical things that come into the ER, I don't. You couldn't tell me anything, and I would not be shocked. I've seen it and done it all, and I mean pretty much all.
Yeah. If you were in the military, you'd be a gunnery sergeant. You'd be like, yo, Sarge. Like, you see it all. You say, "Gonna take that there, boy. Watch that there, boy. Hey, be careful." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to have a myth, like you have to find something to help because I
Yeah.
know during the pandemic the gyms were closed. I know it was tough for a lot of your competitors.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because it affected my family because my mother she had got the virus and she passed away after
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I know what I talked to a lot of your competitors, you ladies, saying that it's really the gym is like you're both your therapy, your church, the place you go to because it really inspires you. And like when you're working out, what's that favorite workout? You say, I love doing it. And I want you to say, damn, I don't want
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. I love shoulders. I love training shoulders. Um, Calves. I don't like training calves. Those are like calves and abs. That's like the worst. But yeah, during COVID, I ended up getting a home gym put in the garage. So I was able to do that, but it's not the atmosphere, So
Just pushing the weights. I remember when I was in high school, I loved lifting weights because I was one of the strongest guys on my team when I played football. I was by the time I was like 17, I was already pushing like about 400 pounds on the bench press. And,
holy shit.
yeah. See, one of the guys who was playing me said, George, he said to me, he said, you know what, George? I said, what is it? Say, you cock strong. Say, why you call me that? Say, you ever had any sons? Say, no. Well, that's why you cock strong. So because I grew up country boy. Here we got my man here. Manuel says, question for Ms. Paradis. Do you think that female bodybuilding or women with muscles will ever be accepted as a standard uh, form of beauty for women in society in the future? So, as you know, many of the guys who follow mine are fans. They're, as we are often called, we're schmoes. We're a fan of you ladies. We just get excited about you. So, what you think about the standard of, you know,
Uh,
acceptance of women in bodybuilding?
well, I think first of all, either people love it or they hate it. I have never found anybody that has been on the fence. And this is both for male and female people. Like if I go to the grocery store in the summer and I have a tank top, I get, oh my God, you're disgusting, to, oh my God, you're beautiful. To have it become part of normal society, I don't know. that would be nice. Everybody nowadays, I hopefully it can be part of normal society to be accepted. I think as time goes on, I do. But like I said, I don't think anybody has, I think they either love it or hate it. So.
And I know that's the thing about it, because with my conversations with ladies, often you have people who like your family and friends who support you, stand by you. Do you ever deal with guys on, especially men or women on social media, talking about, hey, you're too buff, you're trying to be a man, yada, yada, yada. But here's this, you are an athlete and you're in a sport, even though bodybuilding is not as mainstream compared to other sports, like you look at football, basketball, mixed martial arts, boxing, those are, extreme sports, or, yet they're still popular. But there's a lot of sacrifice and commitment to the sport and discipline. A lot of people, the mindset of the everyday person is like, you're just on steroids and you just eat this, that. And I've had people tell me, George, if like this, if they took the stuff I took and don't follow the regimen I take, you're not going to look like me.
Correct. Yeah. You have to eat, you have to work out, and sleep. You have to sleep, because if you're not, that's where you build your muscle, is during your sleep stage. It's not, of course, when you're at the gym, you're tearing your muscle down, but you have to have good recovery. It's a balance of everything, your food, your nutrition, your mental state, your rest state, so it's everything.
Yeah. And one thing is, most important is food, because food is both a tool and weapon for a bodybuilder. Because you just can't eat anything. I mean, like when you are, we're not, when you after your show, what was that food thing you like to, shit? That economy.
Pasta. I love spaghetti and pasta. Yeah, that's my go-to after every show. I make sure there's an Italian restaurant nearby.
I interviewed a lady. She said the same thing. Her mother-in-law, she cooked a great lasagna, and she used to always love eating her lasagna. I know I think the typical one is usually burger and fries, have like some sweets like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's all about what helps you grow and develop as a competitor. And one thing I often talk about, the cost. I think I keep saying this: the cost for y'all women is way higher compared to the men.
Yeah.
I think the one division that probably has to spend the most in is probably fitness, because they have their routines and everything else. They're a lot more. But with the men's division, all they got to do is wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts.
Yeah.
That's it. You ladies have to put on presentation. You have to put on both the femininity and the muscularity.
Yeah. Yeah. My suits probably are about $1,200 to $1,600 per suit. And that's a lot of money for just a bathing suit that you're only going to wear one time. Some people wear them more. Some people sell them or wear them a couple times. It's the food that's a huge cost. Makeup, hair, tanning. Then you got to have a posing coach. You got to make sure you hide your flaws and present your best. So I have a posing coach out in Connecticut, and the cost to travel out to Connecticut. I've been out there a couple times. We do Zoom, but as it gets closer to my show, I fly out there. And it's the cost of the hotel at your show and the travel to the show. So I've been lucky. I've drove to all of my shows. But you still got the gas and the hotel, and
So you have to bring your food, because because you can't eat just anywhere. You have to, like, I know people be like, I was talking to one lady how they'd be like having something for Thanksgiving, and she brings her own food because you can't eat. Like, I know turkey, everything looks good, but you just can't eat that. You can do a refeed or a cheat meal every so often, but when you're prepping, you have to stick to a plan. And you mentioned your posing coach, and who's that posing coach? And you also, who's your coach you've been working with?
So my posing coach, Kenny Wallach, out in Connecticut.
That's that. Yeah. Ooh, I just interviewed a lady who also worked with Kenny. He is one of the top guys.
Yeah,
when it comes to posing.
For sure. And then my coach that I have right now is Tommy Styles at Styles Strength. I've known Tommy he used to be a firefighter for Livonia. And that's how I originally met him. And so we would train together. And I'm so proud of him, man. He gave up a career in firefighting to move to he like gave it all up, moved to Arizona and start his own, coaching business. And he's phenomenal. And I've used a lot of name brand coaches, and he's probably one of the best coaches I've ever used. He's thorough. He explains why I'm doing certain things. I've had complete blood work done to make sure my liver and my kidneys are good, that my blood count is good. And he explains everything step by step and why. So you guys need to check him out. He's awesome.
Well, if you want, send me his link. You can send it to me. I can share it, with some people. I know a lot of ladies said they're looking for a good coach, and maybe because sometimes one thing, especially for women, you just can't give the same plan you give to a man because women, yeah, because men and women we're basically say we're the same race but we're different species.
Yeah.
So you might say genders, but I say species. Sometimes they're women, but I know some ladies who maybe jump from coach to coach because maybe something didn't work out. Maybe things one lady, she was a figure competitor.
Okay.
And her coach was giving her a plan she was giving for some of the guys. And figures a different division compared to men's classic or men's open. You have to work within, especially like I said again, y'all women, your biology is a lot different. Men, we don't menstruate, y'all do. We don't have babies, y'all do. I mean, a man, lifespan is something. Like I said, a man's purpose of life is to battle, breed, and die. That's it. Y'all women are our nurturers. You are our mothers, our wives. You take care of our children at home. And I think society have an issue when you see women like yourself who have the muscles and you're just really going out of the idea of what it is to be feminine.
Yeah. I get that. I see that for sure. But
well, like I say, like this, you have to live for you. You can't live for nobody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's the plan? So do you have any plans?
I do have some plans. So my next show is to do the Masters Pittsburgh Pro. That is going to be August 31st. I didn't even know when it was. You're the one that sent me the link. Thank you for that. So that is August 31st, and that'll be down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So that's my goal. I've done that show since I turned pro at it, and I've done well at that show. I like the hotel, I like the drive, and so that's my goal. I think it's like 37 weeks out.
Yeah, because that's promoted by Gary Udit.
Yeah,
one of the top promoters. He also, I think, that same week is the North Americans, because I interviewed a couple ladies who get the pro cards after that, and then those ladies who competed also at the Masters.
Yeah,
and you're going to do. I know with the Masters, it's like 40 to 55 to 60. So what's the age group you're gonna?
So I'm 57. I'll be 58 in January. So I will do whatever class. I don't know if they have is it 50 and up or 55 and up?
They have 50 to 55 and even to 60. You can do 50, 55, and also you can do 40.
Yeah.
45. See, I think, next year they're going to do the Masters Olympia. That's going to be in Tokyo. And you have to qualify for that show. You have to do 40.
I see.
Because you have to do shows like most of the shows going to have mostly 40 and above.
Yeah.
That's a qualification for Olympia, Master Olympia. And then you have shows like Chicago. They're also going to have master shows. Tampa. There's a couple other, especially I think there's more master qualification shows for women's physique than there is for women's bodybuilding.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog was making noise. I was like,
that's all right. You got the first point. I had dogs, cats come in, kids walk through here. I mean, it's not nothing new to me. I've been doing this for a while. We have your comment from a man with another question for Paradis. Do you think that women who do muscle worship sessions make OnlyFans content diminish the value and reputation of the sport? Like, one thing I know like this, a lot of women do those because it's the way to make income. You have a job.
Yeah.
Whereas a good career, I don't think you would want to do something like that. Or as
Well,
I call,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think it's against hospital policy if I did, but I don't see anything wrong with it. I think if that's what you do, more power to you. I know there's a lot of men that would love to have a female bodybuilding wife or girlfriend, so maybe this is their only way that they can have that type of relationship with a woman. I don't look down upon it. I don't think it diminishes it. I think more power to anybody that does that.
Yeah,
That's just my personal opinion.
Like I said, it's a way to make income, especially because as bodybuilding is not a very lucrative career. I mean, the cost of everything you got to do, travel, this and that, and it's for some women who have those the ability to do it and to make the money for it. That's good for you. It's not for everybody. Like I said, you have a job where I don't know if say, hey, that nurse, when's she in this? So come in this sponge bath.
Wink. Yeah.
And I found this also in social media. One lady who I got to meet also a few years ago, Alina Pope.
Yes.
I met her in 2022 at Savannah Pro, and I got to talk to her because my friend Tina was one of her clients. What was that experience like?
She was so nice. Yeah, we did for a little bit. She was so nice. I knew her from a long time ago. What I'm surprised is the height of these people. Like Linda Murray's not very tall. She was not very tall. I think I was a little bit taller than her. But very nice. I don't think I've met anybody that's been a jerk to me in this at all. And I've been lucky because I was sponsored with 5% with Rich Piana back when sponsorship was truly a sponsorship. I traveled all over and met some amazing people. And she was very nice.
Yeah, and you mentioned being sponsored. That really helps a lot of competitors because sponsorship does help to cover the cost of travel expenses, all the other stuff that's involved in the bodybuilding. And you mentioned Rich Piana, so rest in peace to him. I think he was a very popular guy on social media. How long y'all two knew each other? I mean, what was that feeling you heard about his passing?
I was with 5%. I want to say 2 years. I want to say I was devastated. Absolutely devastated. And then obviously it changed our sponsorship program. They kept us on for, I think, 2 months after his passing, but then they kind of restructured how the sponsorship worked. And that's when everybody started going with like codes, But when I was with the group that we had, it was true sponsorship. We ordered what we wanted. Every month we got shipments in. We traveled all over with him. I've been to LA and Vegas, and so it was awesome.
Well, that's a good thing. I think one person I really used to do sponsorship, especially for women's bodybuilding, and every time I say his name, I got to do this, Kristi. Yo, Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. That's Jake Wood.
Yes, Jake Wood.
I mean, he is the guy. Honestly, he saved women's bodybuilding.
He did, yeah. If it wasn't for him, it would have.
Yeah, and he runs the Olympia. I never met the man. I've done content about him. Here's with Melly Specco. Yeah. I mean, I will love Wednesdays. I know if I do meet him, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, yo, Jake. So I don't know a lot about Jake, but I think it was like I said again, women's bodybuilding was on its way out. And then he came along and saved it. Yeah. And I think like this, even Physique is getting that stink eye, as we mentioned, cutting shows numbers, and still have more shows than women's bodybuilding compared to that.
Yeah, that's going to be disappointing because I can't wear high heels, so I can't move down to figure, and I have to really work my ass off if I'm moving up to bodybuilding, which I would love. I would love to be as big as I could get, man. That would be a great honor to do.
Well, I think everything has to work on, like I said, you're a much taller woman.